Today has been exactly 1 year since I started making videos, so here's a little special Q&A. Maybe I'll make these once a year or something. I'm not quite sure about that yet. But yeah, I promised to do a little QA, and I've never really done a straight up talking video before. So here's some gameplay to keep your attention for your just like Subway servers, right? And then I'm gonna answer some questions. Ramita Ken or Ramitaken asks, how many hours do you have on SS14 and what's your favorite job to play? Well, I currently have over 1300 hours. I'm having a really hard time picking a favorite job though. I think I like both science and cargo a lot. I also play HOS and Warden quite a bit. But usually those runs don't really make for very good videos, so you almost never see me play HOS or Warden on here. But I can do tell you that my least favorite jobs is either like Chemist or Atmos, I think. Whenever I play those roles, I just feel like I'm doing busy work and just clicking in menus, and I'm not really part of the game. Actually, just scratch this entire answer. Passenger is the best role in the game. Just play Passenger, no contest. C26F asks, why do you play slime people? I just think slime girls are cute. Enrico asks, do you like lizards? If so, why? Yeah, that's a very typical question of you. I mean, lizards are a pretty good species, right? They can like drag stuff with their tail, they've got funny sounds like laughing and stuff. I think it's pretty good overall. I mean, wait, no, I hate lizards because one time you played HOP and you did not give me all access, so I hate lizards now. Mike Giz asks, what's your favorite antag to play? I think my favorite antag is Thief. I like playing with the limited options, like you have a pacifist implant and you can only choose a certain amount of tools you can use. I think it requires the player to be very creative and really like plan out everything before they do something because they want to try and stay undetected. You also have to like hide your thief teleporter thing really well, like make your own little thief den, things like that. I also think like when playing thief, like sneaking around, trying to stay hidden, quiet is actually like makes me feel like a lot more tension than just like going loud and killing people with guns, you know. Rogue Octo asks, what got you into SS14? Yeah, this is going to be a long answer, and it's going to be a little bit political or philosophical. Because getting into a game like SS14 for me was more like a process of elimination. I'm a activist in the free software movement, or a hacktivist maybe, or a digital rights activist, or whatever you want to call it. I'm very opinionated about how software and things like that is being distributed, like on a moral and philosophical level. So I'm kind of like the equivalent of a vegan in terms of what software that I use. So when I'm talking about free software, I don't mean software that is free as in price, as in you don't pay anything for it. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that it grants you freedom. Free software is defined with the four freedoms: the freedom to use, the freedom to study, the freedom to share, and the freedom to improve. So if you apply this philosophy to video games, it would be that I do not agree with any game developer that has any power over what players can do with their game. Like in reality, it shows that any game developer always abuses this power just to make maximum amounts of money while only pretending to care about what players actually want in their game, right? If players had control over the game, instead you would see stuff like loot boxes, DRM, servers being shut down, or any other stuff like that just wouldn't happen anymore if players were in control of the game. SS14 is free software. It is licensed under the expat license, also known as MIT. The SS14 developers have like no control over you. If you don't like something that the developers of SS14 are doing, you can just create a fork and play the game how you want to play it. Like, I think that's really something that we should treasure, because this is like very special to SS14 and a handful of other games. Like, this does not work for like 99.9% of other games. Like, just imagine what people could do if you were allowed to fork any other of your favorite games without like an army of liars like knocking down your door. So anyways, like, outside of gaming, this obsession of mine also applies to any other software that I like to use. I use GNU/Linux as my operating system. I edit videos with Kdenlive. I make thumbnails with GIMP. There's literally no software on any of my computers that does not allow me to go into the source code and change something if I don't like it. And yeah, also maybe a good time to mention, I really dislike YouTube. I do not want to upload stuff on YouTube. The only reason I upload to YouTube is because if I don't do this, almost nobody will watch my videos. I actually have a PeerTube channel. The link is in the channel description, by the way. PeerTube is a free platform that you can host yourself. It's really good. So if you're watching this on PeerTube, good job. You're one of the few cool people. If you're not watching this on YouTube, just go delete your YouTube account right now and just go over there. Also, just saying, my videos, they appear sooner on PeerTube than they do on YouTube, mostly because uploading a video to YouTube can literally take up to like 24 hours sometimes, because they have to like process your videos and do like a million like copyright checks or stupid bullshit that does not concern me. So yeah, I don't like YouTube, and I'm kind of opposed to using it. So if I do ever make money with YouTube videos, I just straight up like donate it to any free software project that I like to use, like PeerTube, for example. I mean, I have a decent job, and really I don't need this like 10 euro that YouTube sometimes wants to give me. Hen asks, what got you into making SS14 videos? Actually, I have no concrete idea of why I started doing this. I mean, I just started doing this one day. I think mostly because I wanted to share some of my personal SS14 experience with other people. Also, especially people who don't play SS14. Like, I think making videos is a really good way to attract new players to the game. Like, how is anyone ever going to find this game if nobody is making videos about it? I think this game is still quite undiscovered. I believe there's a lot of people out there who would enjoy Space Station 14, but they've just like never heard about it, like they don't know it exists. Lilton Head, or is it Lil 10 Head? Who knows? Asks, what is an ideal round for you? Well, I think it's an easy answer, because my ideal round would be whenever I roll Die a Glorious Death. But yeah, that's too simple of an answer. think an ideal round of Space Station is when the round feels like an actual plot that has like a beginning, middle, and ending. So I don't like the survival game mode usually, because survival just feels like random bullshit for an hour. Really, I think the ideal round is any round that I can turn into a 10 to 20 minute video. Like all the rounds I upload here, they can be considered ideal. J.T1 asks, what game do you use to play the most? I'm not sure if you mean used to or now, like use now. But for games that I like to play that are not Space Station 14, without mentioning any proprietary games, I've played a lot of Sonatic. It's a simple arena shooter. I also played a lot of Mindustry, which is basically Factorial but with tower defense mechanics. I also play Luanti. It's just Minecraft, but without Microsoft. And I've also played way more OpenTTD than I'm willing to admit. As for right now, I'm getting kind of into Overte. Is that how you pronounce it? It's basically VR chat, but actually good. Gebrote42 asks, which is the hardest non-command round start available job to perform competently? In my opinion, it's botany. I think botany is probably the civilian job that has the most depth to it, but I don't think it is very hard to be competent at botany at all. Like, it has a low skill floor, but just a high skill ceiling, I think. Like, all you have to do to be competent at botany is to just grow whatever chemistry or cargo asks you to make. You don't need to use any cams or swabs or anything to be like really competent at botany. I actually think that the hardest non-command job to play competently is probably security, especially for new players. Because while mechanically not a very hard job, it just requires a lot of like game sense that experienced players take for granted, like knowing like what is normal and what isn't normal. That's something that's like very important for security. And it's also just really hard to not be shitsec, really. Will Oz Gaming asks, what's a thing you do at least once per round or most rounds, or something you like to do most rounds? One thing I like to do every round is, it's not something I like to do, it's something I do. It's just like, I just immediately find a crowbar. I think most people can relate to that. Like why isn't a crowbar just part of your emergency kit? I mean, everyone needs a crowbar, right? Is it power gaming to get a crowbar? I was under the understanding that everyone always did that. Something I like to do most rounds, though, I can't really think of anything. I mean, I don't really like doing the same thing every round. I mean, that gets boring, right? Dr. Badvice asks, what's your least favorite steal objective for a thief and as a syndicate? Maybe map specific. Who's your least favorite not banned player? Let me answer the first question first. My favorite steal objectives, as a thief, I think I like stuff like having to steal the head bed sheets a lot. Because it looks very simple. It's like, oh, you just have to steal bed sheets, but it's actually a deceptively hard task. Because at some point you realize, like, wait, this requires me to break into every single head's bedroom. And also for a syndicate, I think that maybe my favorite steal objective would be like any of the objective that makes you like steal a weapon, like the HOS shotgun or the captain laser. Because if they want it back, they're going to have to fight you with their own weapon. to get it back. I think that's really fun. As for my least favorite not banned player, yeah, I don't really feel like naming anyone specifically. I think it's just kind of toxic to do that in a video. But in general, I think the worst thing people can do is like complaining in LOC. I just hate it when I see that. Like it really takes you out of the immersion. I'm kind of like guilty of sometimes doing that myself, and I'm like high in emotion, but yeah, don't complain in LOC. I don't like that. B-Quad2 asks, what's your favorite department to play as? Also, how many rounds do you estimate you play that you deem not interesting enough? My favorite department, it's probably science. I just think science has a lot of cool stuff. Also, like, science gameplay is just like unending chaos with like anomalies and artifacts and things like that. Like it has a lot of variety. I think science is really interesting. And as for how many rounds I play that I deem not interesting enough, I do think most rounds are interesting. I'm just not a big fan of survival. I think most survival rounds, I kind of just sit out and play along, but usually it's just a lot of like random bullshit that is happening all at once. A lot of slower paced rounds are still like pretty fun for me, just to like RP and relax and stuff. But they're not very interesting from like a video viewer perspective, so I tend to not make videos on those rounds, but yeah, I don't think there's a lot of rounds that I consider like not interesting. I'm definitely not bored of this game. Sergey Kopov D2V asks, what is your favorite alternative server? RMC14, Frontier, etc. And what's your favorite game mode? As for my favorite alternative server is, I've not tried any of the forks like RMC or Frontier yet. I'm just still not bored of just playing regular old Space Station. So I've just like never felt like checking them out yet and like learning like a new way to play. Maybe I'll check it out someday. As for my favorite game mode, I know it's really controversial, but I still think my favorite game mode is still Revolutionaries. There's just something about the vibe of like fighting an entire station with a like ragtag group of random civilians using improvised weaponry. I just really like that. Unfortunately, right now, Revolutionaries is still disabled on Harmony. Because yeah, a lot of people don't like it. But I say bring back Revs. Zero Proto asks, what made you decide to start this journey on YouTube and why YouTube and not Twitch? Many assumptions you make here. First of all, I didn't start on YouTube. I actually started on Owncast, which is a free live streaming platform / server that you can run. I actually still stream on Owncast. Whenever I'm streaming on YouTube as well, I just stream to both platforms at the same time. Also, another assumption is that I'm on a journey. Well, I don't think I'm on a journey. I don't have a end goal in mind or something like that. And yeah, why not Twitch? Well, yeah, I see Twitch as kind of being on the same platform as YouTube. I don't consider it a very good platform either. And if I would like sign up for Twitch right now, I would have to start streaming to 3 platforms instead of 2, which means I would also have to have 3 chats open. Yeah, that sounds like an awful idea. Lily Roch, I don't know. And Lily asked the question, you're always up to something fun and goofy on servers. What's some ways to up the silly bit, not push too many buttons? Well, I'd say it's an RP game, man. Just RP. You don't need to know, like, press a lot of buttons to RP. Like, you can just make a funny, like, gimmick character and just have a character that just talks a lot and play passenger So you don't have to use a lot of mechanics, right? I mean, this question also really depends on if you. Yeah, but what do you consider pressing buttons? If you're typing, you're pressing buttons. So if you're making a P-heavy character, you're also pushing a lot of buttons. So I say that the best role to play to not push too many buttons is to just go Ghost Gang and spectate. Cydephilus asks, what features are you looking forward to being added to 14? Is there anything you feel should be prioritized or really missed from 13? Yeah, what I'm really looking forward to right now is like new medical. Like I used to really love medical, but it gets kind of boring because there's just not that much stuff to do right now. I really want to have stuff like surgery and virology and things. Also, I want vehicles to be added back to SS14. Like I miss riding the Segway as a security officer. And as for SS13, I've actually never played it, so I wouldn't know. Lily asks, what's your favorite Thief/Syndicate objective, excluding DAGD or Die a Glorious Death? Yeah, well, DAGD is great, but obviously that's everyone's favorite easy one to pick, but yeah, I don't think a single objective stands out as being a lot more fun than others. Most of these Syndicate objectives are like pretty well balanced in terms of difficulty, I think. Most of the fun from objectives comes from how you choose to complete them. Like, actually, I do think that one type of objective is more fun than others. And I think that one is helping out a fellow Syndicate. Like, it gives you a reason to go find them and work together. It's usually a lot more fun than just trying to complete your objective solo, I think. As for objectives, I can also tell you which objectives I don't like. For example, sometimes there are impossible to complete objectives. Like for Thief, especially, you can sometimes roll things like having to steal items that don't exist on the map. Or there's also one of the objectives is just steal the nuke. Stealing the nuke is actually unreasonably hard, because if you want to steal the nuke, not only do you have to like get into the vault, but you also have to steal the actual nuclear authentication disk in order to be able to unanchor to the nuke in order to steal it. You also cannot Photon the nuke either, so I feel like that one is just unreasonably hard, but it can make for some fun gameplay again if you don't care about winning. Potato XST5525 asks, how was your first game of SS14? My first game of SS14, I remember it actually quite well. I saw one of those science anomalies, the teleporter anomaly, and I walked into it because I didn't know what it did. And I got teleported into space, and I didn't have my coordinates on, and I died. And yeah, then I thought, this is the best game ever, I'm gonna play more of it. Well, yeah, that's it. That's all of the questions. I think I answered every single one. So I hope you enjoyed me rambling for 25 minutes straight. As for what I'm gonna do now, just regular video uploads, they continue as usual. Also, I should really get back into those mapping streams. I haven't done one in a while. I mean, Sushi Station is not going to finish itself, so you know, I even specifically made a new character to fit the theme of the station. He's going to be a sushi chef, obviously. He's going to speak a lot of Japanese. He's going to be very bad at English. He's also going to play other roles just as chef, just different ones that and Violet usually does. I'm currently testing him out, playing him on Harmony, just trying to develop the character a bit, see if I like his personality and if I can work with it. So yeah, you might see a video starring Kujira-san very soon. So maybe I'll make another one of these videos next year. See ya.